Hello, my English-speaking friends and colleagues. I would like to express my opinion on the speech of Deng Xiaoping uh, the day before yesterday on the 20th Congress of the Communist Party of China. In this speech, Chairman Xi was excellent, and I would like to take some points from this speech to you, and the rest will be expressed in my written version, and you can order this version to me, well, in the proper way. Read about it at the bottom of this material. Okay. First of all, I would like to say that in Russia there are so many rubbish on this speech. Even some experts in China, they treated the speech as nothing special. I don't think so. Xi Jinping opened the new era for China. Many analysts in Russia believe that Xi Jinping would become Mao II and would be able to recognize Putin as Stalin II. And they both would rush into future with nuclear weapons in their arms. They would recall these experts Mao's words in the early 1950s when Mao Zedong received an atomic bomb from Stalin and allegedly said, "Only half of the population of China can die in the fire over nuclear war, but the second will remain alive and will rule the world." But on the 21st century, China, like Russia under Putin, is far from monolithic, and the Maoist and the Putinist followers of Putin, they are, well, just the same. They are similar, trying to hunt with hounds. They are still balancing between new actors at home and in the world. Just the same. Nobody is perfect among them. These changes in the world are rapid in the United States, NATO countries, and in the world of Islam especially. And Putin tries to rule the world and even to regulate his special military operation in Ukraine only by himself. That is the position of, the majority of Putin's critics in and out of Russia. But in China, process in the society and the changes in the country have been being monitored with the power of collective wisdom of party leaders, plus the support of artificial intelligence and IT monitoring. But the latter infrastructures need lithium, and this lithium is in the Donbas region of Ukraine that has still been in the hands of the Kremlin. That's the point. If Chairman Xi is elected for the indefinite term, he could become Brutus for Putin, not his friend, replacing Putin with Patrushev Sr. and probably Patrushev Jr. There are two variants. But Chairman Xi can also remain friend forever of the both the Putin's Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, because there are many speculations that there are 6, 8, or 10 doubles of Putin, and they play the role of Holy Spirit of Putin. And there are quite alive Father Patrushev and Patrushev's son, Patrushev Jr. The role of Deng Xiaoping for the Putin's Holy Spirit could be played well until the end of the special military operation in Ukraine, or with its failure. So then dismission of Putin from the Kremlin in the position of Holy Spirit. Putin is always alive, like we know and see, looking at the tomb of Lenin or at the tomb of Mao Zedong. It's just the same play. Let us look at the new paradigm of security based on internet technologies and artificial intelligence, with the traditional model of friendship of China with the USSR, Russian Federation, bearing in mind re-election of Xi Jinping in his new image or role as Mao II. And this image could nicely correspond with the image or role of Stalin II, performed, say, by Patrushev Sr. Chairman Xi plans considered to be connected with quite new IT and AA tools of reforms in hands of the youth. His report to the Congress started with topics of education and high techs in hands of party activists and other citizens who would be trained in the use of internet technologies and artificial intelligence. That was a crystal clear pronounced way of Chairman Xi Jinping as the party course for the rejuvenation of Chinese socialism. So he wanted to say that the Chinese socialism should become younger and more progressive, with the harmonious digitalization of the party democracy and people's democracy. I noticed that Xi Jinping, he united two positions: the party democracy and people democracy. Grassroots initiative of citizens could be recognized and valued, so to say. Party members and citizens of China who are well trained in the use of IT and AI are to become leaders in combination of traditions and innovations for the rejuvenation of Chinese socialism, with the harmonious digitalization of people's democracy and party democracy on the basis of Chinese patriotism. Well, we'll see what comes. The topic of education for the high quality of everything that would be done in China was a key one in Chairman Xi Jinping's speech. Let me remind you that in 2019, the anti-party group of Wuhan province actually advocated a confederation in the country based on IT, AA in compliance with the principles of Chiang Kai-shek's regionalism. Those principles, long and long ago, brought Taiwan to the forefront in the world of science and technology, and well-established law and order have led to the triumph of universal or all human values for Taiwan's cooperation with the whole world. And Chairman Xi Jinping took into account that almost 1 billion Chinese had sympathized with the IT initiatives and reforms of these Wuhan communists in the period between 2012 up to 2019. So Xi Jinping's speech sounded as the well-hidden idea in the rhetorics that the country has grown out of the kid pants of the tyrant Mao and the great reformer Deng Xiaoping. Then Deng Xiaoping simply proposed a course for replenishing the urban labor market with industrious workers, peasants, from the countryside, with the necessity to be educated on the ideas of the renovated Chinese socialism, with and with mandatory training in advanced technologies. Ukraine and the Russian Federation in Xi Jinping's speech were slightly mentioned in only one phrase concerning the military modernization, like this. Mention was like this: "We'll strengthen the armed forces in such a way that they won't find themselves in the same position as the secret military operation of the Russian Federation in Ukraine." That's it. That's it. There are some other arguments on this point. You can read about them in my written material if you order it. And Chairman Xi Jinping just ignored the very name of Putin in his speech. And it is, well, exactly like a knife in the back of Putin. Chairman Xi Jinping stressed that Chinese Communist Party's adherence to the rules of democracy. He said that the CCP peacefully gets along with 8 more parties from different regions. But President Zelensky, I'd like to add, has still been against regionalism in Ukraine. So I think it's another barrier to the communication between China and Kiev. Nor did Xi Jinping say a word about Iran's nuclear ambitions, which US President Joseph Biden is helping. Joseph Biden is helping Iranian mullah in nuclear projects. Here, analysts in Russia wanted long beforehand to speculate for Xi Jinping that it was Biden who, in his deal with the mullahs, had suggested to Putin the idea of a nuclear Armageddon against Ukraine. Whereas China, with its powerful nuclear weaponry, was against any kind of weapons of mass destruction used in Taiwan or against Taiwan. And that statement caused a storm of applause. Perhaps it was a signal to Chairman Xi Jinping himself about the reluctance of the 100 million members of Chinese communists to see another Mao II with nuclear weapons as an advantage. In no way did Xi Jinping mention Erdogan, because Chairman Xi considered him as a pseudo defender of the Uyghurs in the People Republic of China, and at the same time as a knife in the back of Putin. By the way, there are a lot of knives have accumulated on Putin's back, including from runaway oligarchs. Therefore, the more knives in Putin's back from others, the more invisible the knife from the brother Brutus Xi Jinping. That's my conclusion. In Xi Jinping's speech, it wasn't said that experts expected, Russian on foreign experts expected that Biden in the United States and Russia under Putin would begin to seek peace in Ukraine with their nuclear blackmailing. Evidently, Chairman Xi Jinping himself refused it, even for his native Taiwan with Hong Kong and Macau. By the way, under cover of that nuclear noise, the Kremlin successfully has been earning $1 billion a day from the West. Just imagine. It either pays off nuclear blackmail or simply counts on profitable trade futures while dividing Ukraine's lithium, so far without her. But this could happen without Kyiv until Elon Musk steps in action. And Elon Musk is ready for such a step after the victory of the Republicans on the 8th of November. So Putin successfully offered the summit on October 10 in Astana, withdrew troops from Kherson. He did it very quickly. It became too difficult for the Kremlin to fight without enough war drones from Iran, missiles from North Korea, and other allies of the People's Republic of China in the alliance called Chinese Cooperation Organization and BRICS. It's a very slight, weak alliance. Anyway, it exists. Although Chairman Xi Jinping didn't say that in his speech 2 days ago, it's clear without words that it is China, not Putin in Ukraine, who rules the world. And delegates of the 20th Congress understood it without additional words. And we'll see it in the resolution of the Congress on the 26th of October, by the end of the Congress. So there are three main theses in Chairman Xi Jinping's speech as a wreck for Putin's secret military organization operation in Ukraine. First of all, in China, there is radically formulated course for educated youth to stand up in or out of the Communist Party of China against corruption in the old party apparatus and in the management of the armed forces. And in contrast with it, Putin's 200,000 young IT people have fled abroad from conscription and to avoid fighting in the secret military organization. The second thesis, the People's Republic of China stands for peace in Ukraine and will not go in alliance with Putin so-called flea wars against the friends of Ukraine, as previously planned at the summits of SCO and BRICS with new members, Iran and Venezuela. And this alliance practiced cooperation in military exercises in August in Kubinka, the Moscow region, and Venezuela. The third thesis or conclusion, so to say, the People Liberation Army of China will overtake by 2027 the armed forces of the Russian Federation and other SCO BRICS countries and Iran, which has joined them in the time of inner troubles. Right now, Iranian women, students, and young people are rebelling in big cities, and since yesterday or the day before yesterday, they began to demolish Khamenei's monuments. As Chairman Xi Jinping said, the PLA, or the Armed Forces of China, are waiting for the further modernization of weaponry with a rationalist strategy according to some new military theory. It's a very interesting declaration, and it needs some more descriptions and analysis. The whole text would be sent by your request in your payment to 1,000 rubles or more to my personal account in the SBERBANK. I put the number at the bottom in the chat. So please ask me details, send me your wisdom and your material support. So that's all. I wish you luck, and I hope that we'll understand everything how to establish peace and order in Ukraine without nuclear war or other tricks from autocrats of the world. Bye bye.